It's spring cleaning time, and there's no better cleaning than you could do than pressure washing your entire house.
You know what my daughter
and driveway and pool deck and everything.
You know what Maisie says about pressure washing, which is weird? She says it's oddly, like when we watch people do it, it's oddly satisfying, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
To see how clean and to see the lines and all the dirt and grime go away. And our friends over at Firehouse Pressure Washing, basically, if you have something dirty, they can clean it.
Yep. Screen enclosures, pool decks, house exteriors, driveways, walkways, sidewalks. We did it with our AirT&D.
Yeah.
They pressure washed the entire sidewalk before Porch Fest. It looked great.
It looked absolutely amazing.
Patios, lanais, chemical soft wash for your roofs.
Yeah.
Like basically, it's a pressure washing for your roof, but they have to do it special soft wash with the chemicals.
We want to blow the shingles off.
Exactly.
Yeah, they know what
yeah.
they're doing. They get up there. You might have an algae buildup because you have like a tree that has shade and then it puddles water, and you don't want that.
Yeah. Like they're professional. They're locally owned by a firefighter, so that's why they're Firehouse Pressure Washing.
You go.
And they're super professional. They give you the best customer service. Like you get some pain pale handyman up there blowing your shingles off, you're gonna damage stuff. They have the correct equipment.
How did you know I had a pain pill handyman?
And they can do it right. Your business, they do the UCF bounce house, the UCF arena.
Yeah.
So they can do any size business if you want your business
if
washed.
you're a car lot and you need that whole thing scrubbed, they can do that. Or if you're just a homeowner and you just want your driveway to look good or have your pavers sealed, they can do all that.
You don't even need to be there. You can give them a call, 407-375-7768. You could pay over like email,
You
right?
can do it all online.
And they'll do it while you're at work. So you come home, your driveway's nice, your pool deck, everything's
You don't even have to see them.
Yeah, soft wash your roof, everything. It's firehousepressurewashing.com. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. So we've got Deborah here from Fairville and Megastore. And
is that Deborah at the door? Let me get it. Hey, she's here. I want to start doing that where here's what a little idea I came up with really high on vacation. We put a doorbell there. And then we engineer that door, and then we have our guests stand outside, and then they go, boom, boom. Who is it? And they go over there, it's Deborah!
Yeah, I would like that.
Like Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yeah, there you go.
Kind of was model. It was on, I'm stuck on Tubi.
Yeah.
And I found Pee-wee's Playhouse on Tubi, and now I want.
Going back.
Oh, it's so good, man.
They got how it's made too.
Tubi's where it's at, man. I've gone backwards in watching
We
things.
didn't get sponsored by Tubi.
Yeah, Tubi's great.
Is it free?
Yes, everything's free.
Everything's
Show's free.
Everything's free, and it's the worst garbage you could ever do. Nothing good.
Go watch
I love free
Tideland.
garbage.
We know you do.
So Deborah, I got a text when I was or an email when I was in Colorado.
Yes.
And
it was
said,
me. It was like the fish tank.
Oh my God! Or there was that.
Drowning.
There was that, and then
And he was hiding. Apparently, he was hiding in a closet when I called him.
So Deborah emailed me, and every time I get an email from a client, I'm always
let me put my
scared.
glasses on. They're doing it.
I'm like, oh no!
Take me
Something
back,
bad
Deborah.
has happened.
I'm
Deborah,
like,
take me back, baby. Don't leave us, baby.
I'm like, what did I do wrong? What did we say?
It wasn't Dan. It was Dan.
I'm like, did they listen to the commercial?
Was Dan talking about holes and he was talking about butt plugs? He's too spicy.
And what it was Deborah standing in front of an RV with a that had a Tom and Dan flag.
Yep.
I saw that.
and
I got the same photo. The first thing I thought of was like, oh no, run, Deborah.
It's funny because that was his first question was, I hope they were okay. Like, I hope everything was okay.
Oh yeah, well that's my next worry.
Yeah, my first thought is
like, they were
cool. They were cool, right?
Yeah, my first thought is always that it's some guy who wanders over. Are you Deborah? And he starts just barfing everywhere.
Eat my.
Then it's eat it. Oh yeah.
We have one listener that is referred to as my wife's.
Oh my.
Yeah, and he
cut that out?
nobody knows what that means.
He loves it.
Yeah, and he will imbibe, and then he'll
get
just
the tattoo soon. I know he will.
He'll just start screaming that, and we've had to say like, hey,
Calm that down.
yeah, you know, and she probably doesn't like that either. I'm just guessing. I'm just guessing.
Wild guess.
There's a handful of characters that it may or may not want you to run into.
Yeah. I mean,
I got a text from Giuseppe yesterday.
Oh, wait.
And he's like, it's my birthday.
It's my birthday.
And then I'm like,
I'm looking for Deborah.
And then he took a selfie, and I believe in front of the
nude.
courthouse. And he's
Nude.
just in a suit.
Oh, my God.
But a big billowy Nautica suit.
Oh, he had a big old Mark Echo.
And anyway, so how was your experience with the Tom and Dan flag?
Let me just tell you. So we set up our camp area. I had a couple other friends with us. We had our own little group.
Nice.
And I look over, and just across the way, here's, everybody has their flags up for their, their Porsche flags or their, country flags. And it's a very international feel. And,
I'm sure.
and I'm looking across the way, and not only do I see an American flag, but I see a Tom and Dan flag. And I'm like, I go to my husband, I'm like, we should go over there and say hello.
There's nothing more American than Tom and Dan.
Right. and I truly was not expecting them to know who I was, to be honest. I just felt like, let's go and say hi. So glad you're fans. I was working it for you guys. I was like, thanks for listening.
Oh, man,
Oh, look at that. So put her on the payroll, Tom.
So I
You're
go
better than
over.
Lee. We used to employ a guy that would just yell at people. Like they walk up and they're like,
he
hey,
was
I like the show. I listen every night.
Take
And
a
he goes,
koozie and leave me alone.
yeah, get the F out of here.
Just throw crap at them.
He would. He'd just tell people, just get the F out of here.
It makes me sad.
So, so we go over there, and
Scream
actually they
singer.
weren't there the first time. So I'm like, well, let's go back. So we go back around dinner time, and here's these guys, 4 guys, just sitting there watching some television. They have a whole thing set up. Yeah, they're watching television.
That's what they watching. We're watching some Golden Girls in here.
And so I walk by and said, hey, so you guys are Tom and Dan fans? Yeah. And I said, well, I'm Deborah from, and I didn't even get Fair Villa out. And they're like, oh my God, I know you from your voice. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
So-
It's Deborah.
Yeah.
Sign my ding dong.
No one did ask me to sign anything.
Okay, good.
But it's super cool, very, very cordial. And that's actually how this group came to be at Sebring. They found each other as Tom and Dan fans, and now it's a group.
Oh, wow.
And then what was really funny is
We bring people together.
I know, right? So the next night or the night after, there's it's a party place for sure. And there is a couple that rent a huge tent and have a live band every night. It's all free.
God.
Anybody can walk in. And so started talking to a guy who they noticed my sweatshirt had Buffalo Bills on it, my husband and I. It was
you
cold
go.
that night. And so that starts a conversation. And he says, well, come over to my school bus. I'm like, uh-oh.
Oh, I know. I
Yeah,
done
come
that
over
before.
to the school
Yeah,
bus.
the bus,
kids,
get
I tell
on
so
the
many
bus.
kids, I'm like, come over to my school bus. I got free candy. And they're like, I know this.
I'm
thing.
telling
And
you,
I'm like,
this
"Oh,
was
no."
so
candy bar.
1970s. We go, I'm like, well, let's go. Why
Yeah.
not? Let's go. Let's go over there. So we get it, and let me just tell you, nudie pics. It was everything.
pics in there.
Laminated
Porn in my
bars.
school bus.
Laminated.
I got
Oh
all
my
my porn in my
God.
school bus.
It was crazy.
Hold on.
I'm the
Wait a
horny
minute.
school bus
Oh,
guy.
yeah. And
They
what was
laminated nudie pics.
Oh yeah, well,
What
people
kind
have
of-
been flashing for all these years. These people have been coming for 40 years, right? And the guy's wife
jump on
actually,
Bus.
right? It was the candy bus.
We gotta cut
The
that
stripper
out.
pole had been taken out,
Oh, everybody got
but-
too fat for it. They're like, take it out.
but it was this congregating place. People kept coming and going out of the bus and meeting people.
my God.
And so I'm talking to my
Laminated
friends.
nudie pics.
Laminated nude. No kidding. So anyway, I'm talking with my friends, and one of them tells me, hey, behind you, someone has a Tom and Dan jacket on. So I turn around.
Jacket.
everywhere.
Yes.
We've never made jackets.
Well,
Oh, like a hoodie.
It's I got picture. I'll
like
share
a
that
satin
picture.
Oh, I bet it's the one with the camouflage on the
Oh yeah,
Yes.
the custom.
Okay.
Captain Sexy Cool says hello. He's a
Oh,
okay.
That's the one I didn't
watch
That's the one.
He laminates them good. Oh.
It was not his bus nor his bar, just to be clear.
Move that bus.
No, but
Ty Pennington, and we're gonna give this kid with no legs a skateboard ramp.
so I turn around and so I'm like, what the heck? I tap him on the shoulder. I said, hey, you're a Tom and Dan fan, and I'm Deborah with Fair Villa, and it was the same reaction. Oh my God! So I got pictures.
You
with
gotta
them.
get on my bus too.
Yeah, and they knew the other people, so it's really like
is
this tight knit group.
crazy.
It was truly amazing, and so
Let me
now
give you a piece of advice. Don't ever get on a BDM's bus.
Yeah,
There's
they
a
were-
chance you might not get off.
They were like I said, it was not their bus, but people
Don't get on
just
any bus with any BDMs.
No. But
Pass on the bus.
just awesome, and so now the joke was, all my friends were like, "Oh, where's Deborah's fan club?"
Oh, they're gonna give you.
We're
stick
gonna
'cause
get-
you're
Make
so
a
popular.
Deb's fan club shirt.
We were talking about making shirts for them. If we go back and it says, I'm not Deborah, but I would have the one that says, I'm Deborah from Fairvilla.
Oh,
so I'm not
yeah.
Deborah. And there you go.
We should
But
go out there. Why are we going out to
You
the
should do
cool
it.
events?
It was super cool.
Okay, so let's talk about
I
Sebring
just
for
went
a
to
second.
MyCon over the way.
Because I used to go to, and Daniel's been out there to the Daytona 400. Is it called that?
Coke Zero 400?
Coke Zero
The Coke
400.
Zero.
Unless they changed it again. I don't know.
Yeah, is it some
it's
sponsor? The
something.
400.
I think it's the Coke Zero Sugar now.
It's in July.
Right? Like you can't say zero. You can't say diet. It's gonna be like zero
whatever.
sugar.
And then we realized that it's just a giant party in the infield
Right.
with racing going around them. But for the most part, everybody's there to hang out and camp for the weekend, essentially in the RVs, and just party from RV to RV. And then there's like a finale to it, which is the race.
Of course.
So how long have you been going out there?
This was my first year. It was kind of like a bucket list thing for us. And our friends, it was actually a family member, had gone a few times and said, well, let's just do it. Let's all go. So
That's awesome.
went, and it truly is similar in that it is a lot of parties going on. Everybody's having a great time, but everybody's in such a good mood, and everybody's super respectful, but in a crazy way. I mean,
Right.
they all have their own little groups, and we met one group that's been coming for 43 years. They came with
My
their
God.
parents, and then have continued to come back. And one guy they had this huge encampment, and he says, "Yep, we've all brought our wives once."
That's funny.
So it's unique, and
That's
it was
cool.
a great time, really great time.
Well, I'm glad that you had a good experience, and thanks for being so kind as always to our
Absolutely.
listeners, and thanks to our listeners for always being so
Yeah.
kind to Deborah.
Yeah.
It's
You bet.
cool that you guys do that.
We make fun of them a lot, but
We do. They're
I've
awesome.
only met cool BDMs for the most part.
Me too.
And everybody is like-minded. You know what I'm saying? Because it makes sense. Because all we talk about is our own lives
Yeah.
and what So it was like a lot of people are like us in some way.
Lots of people like us. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just like Tom.
the personalities.
Like
fit,
I get
you
a
know?
lot of these where it's like, Dan, I shiver like a tiny pee-pee dog at night, and I'm afraid of everything just like you. And he gets the, I do nothing right, just like you.
But it makes sense. Like if there's a show where the hosts are D heads, a lot of D head listeners. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that is true.
It just
That is
makes mathematical sense because you're listening to someone you relate to, right?
You are what you eat.
Yeah, exactly.
Or what you consume, right?
Yeah.
Garbage in, garbage
Garbage
out.
out.
Yeah, that's correct.
So Deborah, I noticed we have a rabbit here,
we
and
do.
that
We have a bunch of rabbits. We have
lots of
some
rabbits.
We have some internal rabbits. We have some external rabbits.
No, I'm talking about the actual bunny rabbit because
I know,
Easter's coming.
Yes, Easter's coming. And I'm a big fan of making the naughty Easter basket for your special someone in your life. And the one that I actually have here is filled with things that could be great for a male partner.
This is your time of year. You're the C-ring Johnny over here.
Yeah, and of course, no basket would be complete without some Tenga eggs. And there are new styles now. So
Yeah.
if you're a fan of, and if you don't know what they are,
They're it's
a self-pleasure device
Yeah.
for the male member.
Yeah, it's a egg for your.
I'm okay.
Eggs.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
admit something that I shouldn't.
Oh yeah, you used it, didn't you? Oh my God! I bet you did in Colorado. You got so pit off. You're so
No,
you need a
no.
stress relief.
No.
You remembered you'd stashed a Tenga egg in your
No.
carry-on.
I can't remember when it was, but
Oh, please tell me you were
it was
at the mall. You were eating a Cinnabon. He was at the mall. He's eating a Cinnabon.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I think I have a Tenga in my car.
Crystal was down in Miami with the boys for our niece's birthday party, and I had to stay up here and work.
This is
I
like
think it was
cheating on your wife when she's pregnant.
No. And then so it was. I never are at my house by myself ever.
I never am at our house together. together.
There's no time that I'm ever by myself.
Why don't you try? Why don't you try it?
Well, there's nowhere to go.
Man.
Well,
I think I know where this is
No,
going.
I'm here, and then I go home,
You're
and
here.
then there's people there.
well, then
And
you
my
gotta,
wife
you
and
gotta go
kids.
do something on your own. You gotta go like, hey.
Oh, he did something on his own.
No. But
Sounds
where,
like it.
where would I go?
You go to the Lowe's.
Anywhere.
You go to Lowe's.
Okay, yeah, I do go to Lowe's, but
Yeah.
I'm saying there's people there.
Why don't
I'm
you go up to BWW? Go to Buffalo
Yeah,
Wild
that's-
Wings. Get
that's
yourself
fine.
a cold beer.
I'm saying I'm never at my house by myself, so I'm there, and I realize I can
I
do
understand,
whatever I
because
want.
Maisie's always dancing, so I get a lot of home time because she's always
yeah.
at the dance studio.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm in there, I'm like, hello, there's like nobody here,
Yeah.
and it's
Yep.
it's sad.
So there's always something, and then not only I can't even go. I'm in the bathroom, they're knocking on the door, banging, sliding stuff under the
yeah,
door.
putting notes.
Yeah. Anyway, so then I started remembering, I was like, what do I do? And then I was walking around.
Well,
I'm like,
I'm so bored.
and I'm like, where? Like first, I thought
Where are
the
my
VR.
nudie mags?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I laminated them and put them on my
I was like,
butt.
oh yeah, the VR, and I remember the VR.
Oh, that's too much. You
And
need- no, you
it
gotta
was
go-
dead. The batteries are dead. And then
Of course they are.
I couldn't remember the password we signed up on.
It's 6969, you idiot.
So then I
All
was
of our
like,
passwords are
course they are.
6969.
so then I was like, the eggs. The
Where are my eggs?
I need an egg.
I was like, I remember
My eggs, my glorious eggs. Where are they?
I'm ripping my clothes.
I'll find you, my precious eggs.
I don't know what happened to the eggs. Then I was like, oh, what happened to the eggs?
Uh-oh.
Did you check the boys' room? They might have thought it was a toy.
Yeah, you look in there, it's
Oh,
on
yeah.
He-Man's head.
Anyway, so what I'm saying is, leave an egg.
Leave it in.
Take an egg, leave an egg.
If you need an egg, when I pass this around, just take one and put it
Oh
in your
my
pocket.
God! Right,
yeah.
right. If you need help, tap 3 times on the egg.
I need to like keep it in my glove box in my trunk. Or something.
No, the heat will ruin them.
Sir,
No.
license and
Don't-
registration and your egg falls out.
Yeah, do not do that. The heat.
It'd be a little too hot.
Yeah, the heat will ruin it because it
Yeah.
does come with lubrication, if I remember
Yes,
correctly.
that is correct.
Not that I know my way around these things.
Well, where else am I going to keep it? Because I lost the other one. Like I brought it home.
Put it in your safe.
Put it in. You know what?
Yeah, there you go.
Put it in your meat defroster. Vegetarians will never go there.
You know, my safe. You got to put some or some water.
Where do you put your back medicine?
on the back medicine? No, in my drawer.
Well, put it in the drawer.
Put it in your drawer.
Yeah.
He doesn't want Krista to find it.
yeah. I'm hiding it from my wife too. She's like, "What's this?" And then I gotta.
You don't have an animal either. I was gonna say you could like act like it's a chew toy or something, or
Anyway, the safe. I got a bunch of tiny rust dots on my gun.
oh yeah, it's gluing. Yeah.
Climate control.
And
Yeah.
the whole
It's
thing
gluing on there,
and,
yeah.
and then the like you got to put some sort of moisture absorber in
Just
there.
put a box of baking soda in there. You're fine.
Yeah, but it goes bad after a while.
The
Fills
baking
up.
soda.
Anyway, sorry, Deborah.
Anyway,
No worries.
Let's continue moving on.
But I did throw some C-rings in there, and you don't have to spend a fortune. You can get a battery operated one, or you can do a rechargeable version. If you're making this basket for your special someone. I also put some flavored lube in there. This happens to be a 2-pack of champagne and chocolate.
Nice.
So you have fun with it. But there's so many things that you could do. I have, of course, again, depending on your budget, little battery operated single vibe, stick vibe, we call them.
Oh,
It
that's
has cute little bunnies on it.
That's
It could be
cute.
really fun. Throw that, again, some lube, maybe some shower steamers, which are just really nice. This is a hangover cure one. It's a eucalyptus
I love
and
those.
peppermint. Yeah.
I use those.
Yeah.
These are awesome.
Well, you and your wife shower together, so you both can use this.
I
There you
don't.
go.
My wife doesn't shower with me. I'd love to shower with my wife, but she will not. She's very.
Well, I was talking to Tom. I don't think your wife's ever been hungover in her life.
No, yeah.
Well, that first date.
First date,
Yeah.
second date. But these, I got to tell you right now, I don't think there's really anything that can cure a hangover, but these get damn close.
I've never even heard
This
of
makes you
those.
feel better.
Yeah, they just kind of, you put it on the floor and it fizzes and it kind of heats up and then it releases the mentholyptus or
Oh, I
whatever.
didn't
know. Yeah.
And it gets in your nose and then just kind of brighten it, wakes you. It's like smelling salt, but it's more pleasant. I use the
just
hell
opens
out
it
of
up.
those things, man.
Yeah.
If I can find them, a bunch of different people have made them, but this one actually looks better. And
Yeah, and there's multiple
These are
blocks
great, man.
in there. So you get, I think,
there are
four?
8 in here. Yeah,
Or
it's a set of 8.
eight.
Yeah,
I
this
don't
is
even know.
great.
Yeah, so we have those. You can pick those up at the Mega Store. I think most stores have them,
Awesome.
actually.
Yeah, so like when
yeah.
we tell you guys that they don't just have, I mean, yes, they have sexual wellness products, but they also have cool, kitschy, fun party products.
Well, since we're talking about that, another cool thing you could do that's not a toy, we have CBD bath shots for relaxation. You had a really bad day, you got high stress jobs. Throw this into a really cool Easter basket, and you can use a part of it, reclose it, and save it for another bath. So that's really cool. This is a wonderful company, female-owned company too,
that's
Ingerotic.
cool.
So yeah, and they come in multiple scents, so that's fun. And we also have pheromone perfumes. Women love.
Yeah, I love
Everybody
those.
loves some good perfume. We have like 4 new scents. I brought 2 of them, so you guys could kind of check
This
it
one-
out.
now, this one right here is called Laminated Porn Bus. Ooh, so nice. No, let's see. What's this one? This one is Love All of Me.
And it's by Simply
Oh, that's
Sexy.
nice. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Smell
It's-
that. That's nice. It's light.
Back in the day, they weren't all that great, the things that came out with pheromones. I'm like, well, can you make something that's a little more high end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this company has really stepped
They're
up.
super light, and
Yeah.
they're not like. Look, I have allergies, and there's nothing I hate more than cheap perfume because you can smell that it's cheap.
Yeah.
This is not.
And what's really cool is this is really high quality, and it's $24.99. And I'm sorry, but if you go to some other places that
Fragrance
sell
places,
fragrance
yes.
places,
Yeah.
you're going to pay a lot more, even for just the smaller roller balls. So it's I highly recommend coming in and seeing what's new. But we have a lot of new fragrances in for spring, so it's a great gift. Buy it for yourself. Buy
There
it for
you
someone
go.
you love. Other fun ideas, if we're, kind of just doing some fun, colorful things, maybe you don't want to do anything too crazy. We have this really cute it's by a company called Pillow Talk. It's just a little tickler. It looks like a lipstick. It's like, again, like somebody sees this, a kid sees this, they're not going to know what it is. But
Oh my lord.
it's got a little tickler in there.
What?
Hey.
Okay.
If you hold the button down, it'll make it go faster.
All right.
It's rechargeable.
Oh man, that thing.
Wow,
is,
it looks like it's singing.
How many people know what that's from? I do.
It's like
Bugs Bunny.
it's- yeah.
Bunny, yep.
Yeah, that's the old what is it? The Barber of Seville.
Yep.
Or-
Yep.
So, oh wow,
Not fun.
So that is hard to compete with.
yeah, that is.
Remember the flicking they were talking about?
I know. That's what it is.
Yeah, if you show up at it's
Well,
like you show
If
up
to turn
at-
it off, just hold it in.
He doesn't know how to
couple
turn
seconds.
anything off or on. Like,
Oh, it went faster.
Keep holding.
good lord.
That is turbo speed.
Okay,
Now you cannot compete with that. Nobody's competing
I
with
was
that.
wrong. Just click it one time real fast. Click it one time real fast. There you go.
Yeah,
Sounds like stop.
yeah. I mean,
The wind from that almost blew your wig off.
someone want
It's
that?
powerful, right?
Jeez, Louise.
There's a lot of power
It
with a
is a
little
lot
toy.
of power. I thought it was Palm Sunday in there.
Yeah. I mean, for the size of this thing,
I thought it was
and
like
the
those
battery
fans in
power-
Bahama Breeze that go up and down. You know the fancy fans in Bahama Breeze?
Oh yeah.
That is crazy.
Welcome back to Corporate Time. Forget about the BDM shirt.
You can't say that.
I'm just saying, like whatever. Just go about your day.
BDM shirts.
Yeah. Like if you're a BDM, fine. I'm just saying.
What if you're not a BDM? Go about your day?
Yeah,
It's a
go about your day. Yeah, it's not
Mind
for
your
you.
business.
Now, what if I want to go to the BDM, go to tomanddan.com right now,
Yeah.
sign up. I sign up $10.95 BDM.
Yeah. Then
I can go and buy the shirts, one of each.
As long as you're a BDM.
Girls and boys.
Yes.
$5 shirts.
If you're a BDM, this is what this is for.
Yeah.
And
So if you want to buy one and you're not a BDM, because it would be weird to wear one and you're
Yes,
not
please.
a big D millionaire.
Well, I thought of that, but people just like go look at the shirt and like,
It's a
I
cool
want
shirt.
this.
Yeah, that's
The
your
Danger
fault.
Brain
It's a
did
cool
yeah,
shirt.
Yeah. The Danger Brain designed a really cool shirt, so I just want to make sure this is only going to benefit BDMs.
The Ghost of Manute Bull in our Twitch chat room said, I added 50 shirts to my cart and I could hit submit on my Apple Pay order right now and it still says $5 shipping.
No. We built some safeguards.
Yeah, of course we did. Yeah.
I
Who
gotta
did?
text Eric.
Yeah, you better.
It was me and Eric up last night. We were going back and forth.
Building. Last night. So last night in the middle of the night, you and Eric were building safeguards. That's what you're
gonna have a
doing.
hard
Well, then I was
attack.
like, "What happens if this happens?" And he's like, "Oh, good point." And then we were like,
Ticka.
I don't know how to change it. I don't know what it even is.
man.
I'm like, send me the link, and then I go, "What's the passcode?" I don't even, you just see
Said
me
the
trying
link, said the passcode.
to get there. I'm like hiding from Crystal because she yells at me about
What were
working
you doing?
24 hours a day.
Were you hiding in the bathroom?
No, I'm pretending to scroll TikTok, but I'm just.
Oh, but you're
working.
allowed to scroll TikTok, but you're not allowed to work. That
it's
is
a
the dumb man.
complicated
Y'all got some
relationship.
crazy problems over
Well,
there.
not that I'm allowed.
She's
She-
also now cut Tom out, and she just texts me now when she wants to come in.
yeah.
Oh, well, I did that 10 years ago. I have Andrea
Yeah.
handle all my stuff.
She's just worried about my mental health.
Oh, yeah, it's bad.
all right.
It's bad.
Anyway,
What do you want to talk
What do you want to scream about now?
Yeah, you had a couple things on there you wanted to scream.
Drive-through safaris?
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife would not let me. On the way back from Myrtle Beach, we passed two different drive-through safaris. The one in the beginning of, might have been the end of Georgia, beginning of Florida. There was one,
Yeah,
a drive-through
Georgia
safari.
loves them.
And I was like, let's roll. We're on it. We're making good time.
Yeah.
We're going to be home a little early. It couldn't take longer than about an hour. Let's head through a drive-through safari. We got a big SUV. Put all the windows down. We got a big panoramic sunroof. We put all the way
Oh
back.
yeah, let the camel get
Yeah,
in there.
and you let the giraffe get his neck in there, and he's eating the radio knobs.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's what
yeah.
I wanted. And Andrea, completely anti drive-through
Oh,
safari.
she was like fun.
She doesn't like fun. I thought maybe you'd be on her team and say, I don't like fun either. Drive-through safaris are crap.
No. I when I was a kid, I used to go to the drive-through Lion Country Safari.
Yeah.
I believe it's in West Palm Beach. It may still be there. We've talked about it multiple times.
Yeah.
And my dad used to take the whole family, and then the ostrich would come and stick its head in the.
Yeah, and you're feeding it like little nuggets and little pellets.
It pecked my mom's Parliament Light 100 out of her hand and
Oh,
ate
my
it.
God.
And then everybody's seen the America's Funniest Home Videos where the buffalo sticks his head in there, eats the paper cup full of seeds or whatever the hell.
love
Yeah,
that.
yeah, and it's they're
I love how
awesome.
dumb animals are. You just feed them anything and they're eating it.
And so let's talk about drive-through safaris.
We need to start one in Orlando.
Why?
Well, Animal Kingdom has one, kind of.
Really?
I mean, the safari ride.
No. They have like nice Jeeps that roll through these
That's what I want.
manicured,
And the
perfect
animals-
Sahara desert.
The animals can't come up and stick their head through the window.
can.
They can. They don't.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, I'm
They
sure.
will stop in front of the Jeep and
Yeah.
make you sit there for 30 minutes. so.
Yeah. If
'Cause
that
you
black
can't
rhino
disturb
or white
them.
rhino gets in
Yeah.
front of the Jeep, you
You're
ain't
screwed.
moving.
I mean, just tase them out of the way.
That's what I said.
Jesus.
I got mad. I was sitting there. I was like, honk the horn up really loud or push his ass. It ain't gonna do anything.
Air
So
horn.
If you drive your Jeep all the way up to a rhino's ass, I'm not saying drive over it. It's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
rhino.
And
It's
just
an endangered-
slowly push
and
its
you
ass,
slowly
yeah.
push it. It'll get mad and it'll move.
yeah.
And then no
It's not gonna
harm,
hurt
no
it.
foul.
Yeah, yeah.
No harm, no foul. And even if somebody had video that and said like animal abuse, I'd be like, no. He gently nudged it with the front of the Jeep.
So it tells me that they're not that lucrative because if they were, there would be a lot more drive-through safaris. Either that or are the ones that are around grandfathered in somehow where nowadays PETA and other animal rights, like they don't allow you to do it because I'm sure it's not, when you have a drive-through safari, it's not as coordinated and organized as a zoo, right?
No.
So like you're letting cars in the animals' habitat. It's probably not the best for them. Like they're running over for food.
Yeah, you got a stinky old truck. It's pouring diesel into their noses.
They're eating probably things from inside the car.
Right.
They shouldn't. You're also the animals stick their head in. The people freak out, drive away.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure like
Rip a giraffe's neck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they get hurt all the time.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
bruised up because giraffe sticks his neck through the sunroof,
Yeah.
and you've got a cup of Jollibee fries. Then they fall everywhere. Then the giraffe is whipping its neck. It smashes the LED screen, the 8-inch LED.
Yeah.
And then you're too embarrassed to talk about it because you were feeding it French fries.
Or you're running over the hooves of these animals,
Yeah.
or crashing into them somehow, or the animals are biting
And you punch 'em.
the LED screens, and the people
And you slap their nose. those.
are suing Lion Country Safari because there's somehow like
We have a lot of these, apparently. One in St. Cloud called Wild Florida, SJ says in our Twitch chat room.
Okay.
And then Just Jen says, and this one sounds even better, Noah's Ark by Atlanta is awesome, but it's not drive-through. They have exotic animals from convicted drug dealers. I want to see
wow.
drug dealer animals. Exotic animals from drug dealers? That sounds amazing.
That's different. The drive-through safari, you have your own car and
It's just African land animals, right?
Yes.
Like you get a lot of your
Zebras. They got a zebra,
giraffe,
buffalo,
camel.
They don't even have giraffes. The giraffes are too expensive.
expensive?
They're high dollar. Yeah, you get the S
Camel?
animals. Yeah. The camels are cheap. Zebras are cheap. Buffalo,
Gazelle. You can get a gazelle.
couple gazelles,
Llama.
ostrich. You can get a lot of
Ostriches are mean as
Ostrich.
hell.
llamas are
Llama.
cheap. Yeah. You get some llamas in there.
Oh, the one in St. Cloud does have giraffes.
Oh, really?
There you go. St. Cloud coming up.
Can you like they may be
Why don't
behind
we
a
do a
fence.
go-to show?
Huh?
Let's just do a go-to show and go.
And the Tesla.
Oh yeah.
How about a Tom's truck?
Oh,
trash
well, the
truck?
joke
Yeah.
is the Tesla, and then you don't want the buffalo drooling on your Tesla.
I
And then we
mean,
laugh and laugh.
okay.
Aren't you 90s radio or not? I mean, if they ask my junk truck, who cares? Like, a giraffe could doo-doo on it, and it would make no difference.
I don't
They
know.
have an elevated giraffe feeding platform.
I need that. I need to use that.
So
You see,
that tells me the giraffes
They got money.
They're behind a fence.
They
I don't.
also have a gator park, and they also have airboat rides.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I like all of this.
Florida. Everybody's got airboat.
I've
rides.
never been on an airboat ride.
It's
You've
fun.
never been on an
and I've lived in
airboat?
Florida my entire life.
Airboats are rad.
Well,
it's fun.
I know some people that will go. I'll drive the airboat.
Well,
and I'll
I
take
don't
you
wanna
for a
do
ride.
it if you're driving.
I know how to drive an airboat.
No,
How?
I'll pass
Huh?
on that.
You got the stick. You got the gas.
Wait,
that's all
you don't even
need.
know the names of it. You just said stick and
Well,
gas.
Stick
I'll-
and gas. I'm stick.
No,
I'm gas.
You,
The stick operates
but
a rudder.
You haven't driven since
It's
your
been-
grandfather died. It's been like 10 years.
Well, if you give me 5 minutes
No.
in a field to get my bearings,
in a field, yeah, like we have
5
an
minutes
airboat.
in a field,
Like
no.
we have an airboat in a field.
Well, I do know, like, what you can't do is let off the gas because then you have no steering
Yeah.
anymore, and that's when you crash and you get ejected into the woods. So my dad has done it multiple times. So it's my
It'll be the
pop-up.
goddamn White Claw sports fishing trip all over
Be honest
again.
with me. Have you ever had a moment where thinking about coming from a long line of powerful and strong airboat men?
Yep.
Have you ever thought, you know what? Maybe I will, just because they're not. I mean, you could get some relatively inexpensive.
Old
They're
Captain
not.
Tom,
They're
captain
not
of the
crazy
airboat.
expensive. Have you ever thought about maybe dabbling with a mini airboat or an airboat? The mini airboats are dope, but they're expensive because they're new.
The problem with the airboat is you got to have friends with airboats because they're.
Thought you said you knew a million people with airboats.
Well, I know not that many.
He doesn't
They're
dabble. He's a
more-
bougie Tom now with his marble
And
floors.
a lot of them, the way they speak, I don't hang out with them. Like, different views.
Yeah, I know what that means.
But so because there's not that many places to go anymore on your airboat, so you got to go out to like the Everglades near Titusville.
you can't just take your airboat down the river if you want to.
You can, but you need a river airboat.
Can you take a? Is there
I'm not
such a
familiar with
thing
that.
as an ocean airboat?
No ocean. Well, you could take your airboat out in the ocean.
Has anybody invented a big hulled ocean airboat?
There are big river and lake airboats, and the hull is deeper.
Yeah.
See, because the ones that I grew up, it was the Everglades airboat.
It's like a piece of plywood with a fan on the
Yeah,
back.
well, it's it's also a sealed hull too, so it's only like a foot. The actual hull of the boat is flat. It's got your grass rake up front, but it's not that deep. So
Yeah.
it's basically made for like land and 6 inches of water, right?
Right.
Like you get in deep water and then you sink them pretty easily. So you need like a bigger deep hull airboat. I think that's what's more frequent up here because there's more lakes and rivers. Like when I used to go to the St. John's a lot south of Lake Monroe, there's a lot of airboats out there and they'll take them up and down the St. John's, but they're all deep holed airboats.
How much? Look up
Oh, wait.
airboat. Let's buy a studio airboat.
Craigslist airboat?
I'm sure there's airboat guys listening to me talk. I'm talking out of my ass.
yeah, I know. That's why I'm not getting on the airboat with you.
Yeah, I like
I'm
that.
sure they're
I like that you're
screaming.
talking
They're
out
like,
of it.
this guy has no
everything
idea.
he says is lies.
A stick, a gas, 5 5 minutes in the field.
But not
stick of
that many
gas,
people
5 minutes in the field.
No,
No
so
such
that's
thing
why I
as
say
ocean
this.
airboats.
Yeah. If everybody knew I was like just talking S, then I wouldn't say it. But people hear this and they're like, I think that sounds
he knows
about
a
right.
lot of stuff. Wow, this is amazing.
But I probably am saying misinformation crazy.
You think we can
But
get
I
one
could
for
drive one.
$1,500?
No, they're expensive.
Oh, I thought they weren't that bad.
My pop-up, he
What happened to his airboat?
I sold it to his neighbor.
You could have had a damn airboat.
Mother effer.
It had a-
prized possession.
It had an airbrush Confederate flag on the rudders.
Yeah, it did. With a skull. With a skull with a
Paint over that.
It had a skull
Well-
with a gray Confederate cap holding a flag. It kind of looked like the you know the guy from Eddie from Iron Maiden? It's Eddie from Iron Maiden with a gray cap on, holding the stars and bars, charging through a field, and it said underneath it, "The South will rise
I
again."
got
No.
one for $7,000 right here.
Oh, that's expensive.
Yeah,
all the rest are way more expensive.
Really? Give me the top dog. Give me the nice one.
We got 80,000,
Dude, that's stupid money.
32,000.
You can't even do much with it.
$77,000?
$80,000, and you can only.
Well,
it's very specific.
They got super fancy. It's all in the engine. Like they've got ones with aviation engines that
I want an
think are
electric
more,
one, so it's quiet.
Are more expensive. I'm surprised they don't have it. I bet they look up electric airboats. In that
That's the way to do it. So
In
you
that
just-
community, they're not a big fan of electric.
They like gas, sticking gas.
Even though it makes more sense, they hate it. They hate things that make sense.
Yeah. Although an electric airboat seems like it should be fine. Although you need a lot of power to go to that rudder or the propeller. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
Looks like most of them are small, like one person.
That's what I want. I want a
airboats,
single
yeah.
person, tiny electric airboat. I'll drive it to work.
when I remember driving them as a kid, they're fun as hell to drive.
bet.
Like it's a weird thing too because it's odd. Being on a vehicle that's operated by wind.
Yeah, I know.
And so
You feel magical almost. Loud magical.
it's like flying, which is weird, but you're sliding across the
It's
grass.
the worst kind of flying is an airboat. It's the lowest form of flying.
And you're just sitting on a seat, in all the airboats I've ever seen in person when I was a
Yeah.
kid. Now they may have changed, but there's no seat belts. And in fact, I was told
You're just
You don't need
as
that.
a young redneck kid that the
proving my case that I will not be on an airboat.
Well,
with
you
US
want
the
to be
captain.
injected because you don't want to be near that rudder.
That's what
Yeah.
they've always said is like if you get in a crash, you want to be thrown off. But even as a kid, young Tom Van, I always thought that was ridiculous
Yeah.
and
Right.
stupid because
Okay.
I was like, wait a minute.
But you have the ear protection on, but no seatbelt.
Yeah. Like I don't think I want to be rocketed into the cypress trees.
Oh,
Like,
it'd be a rough rocket.
Yeah, because I feel like you'll be impaled. You also be knocked unconscious, and now you're you're drowning in
It's
a foot of.
Murdoch boat crash all over again.
When I was a kid, I was ejected from an airboat. Me and Porno Joe.
Oh, my God.
We were riding an airboat with my dad, and we were in the Everglades, and we were going down. They basically have airboat trails, which is basically sawgrass on both sides, and then the width of an airboat would be like a tunnel.
Somebody already pushed the grass
the
down.
grass down,
Yeah.
and then from years of pushing the grass down, grass doesn't grow there anymore, and it creates like airboat trails, right? Which is why they kind of outlawed them in a lot of places in the Everglades.
Because
which
it pushes down the vegetation.
my pop-up was mad about because he screamed that the sugar industry was killing the Everglades and the pythons, and
Yeah.
the airboats were doing nothing, which was turned out to
Yeah.
be true.
He's
He was
not
right.
wrong. He's not wrong.
The pythons killed the Everglades. It had nothing to do with the airboats or the rednecks.
No, they actually protect it.
They
But
can
the
have 10
pythons, they can't fight the pythons.
10,000 airboats would have done 1% of the damage that the pythons have
And they're
done.
still doing it, right? They can't get that under control.
Oh, it's done. They've killed it all. It's like, apparently, what's the lady that I follow her Instagram?
Black
now.
China.
No, the
Dr. Tracy?
Dr. Tracy. Dr. Tracy is talking about.
I know
on
where
her
you follow
Instagram.
her Instagram.
Well, I started.
It's those Halloween pics.
I started because you sent me a picture of her with what's her face from MythBusters.
Yeah, Carrie
Byron.
Carrie Byron from Mythbusters.
And then I'm like, oh, they're still friends. Those
Yeah.
are like
they were sitting
2 weeks ago.
courtside at like a Brooklyn Nets game for like Women's Science Night at the Brooklyn Nets.
But she made a post about the Everglades because she's a conservationist, obviously, and then she was like, "It's all gone. Everything's dead."
That's sad.
And I don't think it's ever coming back because how do you eradicate all the damn snakes from the Everglades? I think it's just they'll live on forever.
I mean, it would
guess
be
they have
fun
no
to go out there and
food.
shoot them all, though. I mean, like
You can't. I mean, it's millions of square miles, and it's impossible to even reach a lot of the places.
Yeah.
And then it's like it's too far gone, which is sad. That like I was telling her in that.
whenever I
interview.
hear that, like too far gone, I always feel like, well, it can't be. There's got to be something we can do.
I don't think there's anything because unless maybe the snakes die off because there's nothing to eat anymore, and then
Maybe they can slowly repopulate after the snakes have migrated out or died.
the problem is that if it's repopulating, the snakes will repopulate. Like you know what I'm saying?
You'd
Like,
have to wait until if everything's dead. You have to go in there and hopefully get it out, kill all the snakes, which I guess is impossible.
Yeah, that is an impossible task. Anyway, I don't know how we started.
I don't know.
This whole
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah, we're
but-
talking about airboats.
Yeah,
It's
we got on the
interesting.
airboat.
Oh, the drive-through safaris. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Let's do voicemail.
This is my favorite voicemail of the week because I happen to think this guy's kid is a genius.
So, weird thought. I was watching TV the other day with my son, and the bad guy turned invisible, and he says, "Oh, the good guy should just turn invisible too so he can see him." And then it made me think, is that how invisibility works? If one guy's invisible and you can turn invisible, you can see all the other invisible people? Anyways, blew my mind. Haven't been able to stop thinking about it. Maybe I should kick that ball around in a little while. All right, thanks, guys.
I think that's how it works.
No.
I think that's how it works.
This kid doesn't know nothing about.
Would you be able to see
invisibility.
your
What
own
an
hand
idiot.
if you're invisible?
No.
No.
You don't think so?
No, you can't because how it works is once you're invisible, you have all body function. That's why you could see when you eat or drink that it goes down or whatever. And
Well, then, so you would see the contents of my stomach right now.
yes, that and then
So there would be a turkey sandwich in there.
so to be truly invisible, you have to be void of
So you'd have to
doo-doo.
do like porn stars and do an
Yeah,
enema.
yeah. And you can't eat for days, so it's really tough
So
to
if-
actually be fully invisible.
So if you ever see
you're weak.
food and doo-doo walking around,
No,
that's
you
an
guys don't know nothing about invisibility.
that's an invisible person.
As soon as you make yourself invisible, everything that is within inside of you in your body is invisible. Now, if you add something, yes, but if what's already in you is in you, it's invisible once you turn on the invisibility.
Okay, but then if you eat,
But if you
anything
like sneeze
after-
or something and your boogers come out like you, Tom, then
oh, okay, all right.
those will become visible.
So,
Anything that exits the body will
I
be
go back
visible.
to this. I feel like invisibility is nothing more than a different plane. And if you're on the same plane as another person who's invisible, then you're visible. I think that's what that kid was saying.
well,
It's a small genius.
The real question is, can you see through your eyelids when your eyes are closed? That's what keeps me up at night.
No.
Well, you'd be invisible, so you should.
Well, you're invisible, but your body still reacts the
but
way
if
it
your
would.
eyes are invisible, then they can't see.
where your eyelids will be invisible. So if you can't see your
They're
hand,
invisible to the outside.
That's still the one I want.
Hold on. Well, then
guys.
can you see your own hands and you can see yourself as you are?
No.
Well, then you see through your eyelids.
That's still the superpower I would want.
Invisibility.
I don't want to fly. I mean, it's too
I
dangerous.
don't have enough weed for this conversation.
Invisibility to me is top dog. It will always be top dog. I've always wanted to be invisible.
But you wouldn't be able to. Well, that's just to hide in the shower.
It is to hide in the shower. This man knows me well.
Yeah,
All I would
perverts.
do right now, if I
Which is
came in here,
it is
tomorrow,
disgusting.
and I
that we
walked
think
in,
like
and I
this.
came in here and I sat down, and then you guys came in, and I'd be like, hey, show meeting. And then I bring you all in here and close the door like Lee and Butler did. And I would say, to be honest with you guys, it is going to be a quiet time with Tom and Sam. I now have the power of invisibility, and I'm going to dedicate myself to just going into women's showers and the occasional man, just for fun.
Yeah.
And this is going to be my life's work. I'm doing a coffee table book, and then I'm out.
This is
And
how
I would dedicate my life touring the nation of sneaking into people's showers.
This is how
Invisible.
much I've thought about this when I was a kid. I thought about being.
I still think about it, and I'm a 50-year-old man. I'm damn near 50.
I thought about like being in the shower and seeing. I couldn't
Would
actually
you
be in
move
the,
things around? Would you move the shampoo bottle
I
around
can't.
or rattle anything?
No, I have to be frozen
Where would
in
you
the corner.
stand? In the water, in the front, or in the
No,
back?
no. Well, I'd have to be in the
You
corner.
can't be in the water because then they'll see the shape of you.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, the fire
shape of
extinguisher.
water.
Yeah. But so I'd be in the bathroom to see, but then I'm like, oh God, I don't want to see the
Well,
doo-doo.
I would stand on the toilet. I would stand on the toilet until you're in the shower, and then I'd
peek
peek over
over.
to see where you're standing.
You gotta be careful breathing
Can I use you?
because then the.
Can I use you as my model, as my
No.
muse? Okay. Well, I'll use my mom. No, I'll use Andrea. So, like, if my wife were in the shower,
Well, I'm not looking at my wife.
Oh, you're gonna say your stinking wife.
you were going to say
How
that.
dare you?
I'm just saying, I can do
You're
that.
Use Crystal for your example.
I can
Okay,
do
I'll
that
use
right
Crystal.
now.
Can I use Crystal?
Yes.
Okay, I would stand on the tub.
Yep.
And then see kind of like I'd give it one dry run where I'm just standing on the toilet the whole time and I sneak out before she's done. That way I know her showering pattern. This is the creepiest thing we've ever talked about.
Oh my god, that's straight up stalking.
And but because I want to know where to
Well,
position
you're
myself,
invisible, so it's fine.
Yeah, it is fine.
That's what I
harm,
tell
no foul. No
That's what
harm,
I
no
tell
foul.
myself. No
Yeah.
one knows.
What they don't know, don't hurt them.
Yeah. How do you know someone's not in there now?
Yeah, that's true. That's
You
true.
don't
I
know.
always take a shower assuming someone's in there watching me.
Oh my god.
So I would stand on the
I
toilet.
talked to
and
them.
I would
I'm like, I know you're here.
I knew you were crazy. I knew you were crazy.
Just in case.
Yeah,
Hello,
but what if they
hello?
are? They're like, oh my God, this guy knows.
So I would stand at the toilet and I would see how she positions herself. Does she put her leg up to shave her legs like Andrea does? Andrea does this move where she does like a full scissor kick in the shower and then like shaves her legs.
Oh,
It's
right.
impressive.
Okay.
It's very impressive.
I'll look at that.
Yeah. I'll buy that for a dollar. He just became an old RoboCop. So I'd stand on the toilet and watch her. And then the next day is go day. The next day is it's spring training's over.
What are
you
you
stood on
doing?
the toilet and you watch. Now I'm in the shower with her.
Oh, no, the water will get on you.
No, I stand on the back.
My
I stand in the back, and then if I want to spook her or something, I move the Pert Plus around, or I
Well,
or I do that move on all the prank shows, the Brazilian prank shows.
Oh yeah, keep
where
putting the
she's-
shampoo in.
Yeah, she shampooed her hair, and I keep putting it in there because the more she's got her
Yeah.
eyes covered, the more I can enjoy the view.
Yeah.
I've really thought about that.
When I was a kid, I was like, what if she leaves first and I get stuck in there and then I have to spend the night
In the shower.
You're invisible. When you get stuck in the shower, you can't like push the door open.
No, well, they'll
she'll
know.
see the door move.
Yeah, they'll know if they'll hear.
You gotta wait till she falls asleep.
Yeah, but
creep
then,
out.
but
you
then they
can
already
sneak
lock.
out, and if they hear things, you just run as fast as you can, invisible.
Yeah, but then they're like, something happened. What the
You
hell?
see his little footprints.
Then you
running
never
through
go
the
back.
house.
There's a million other houses. you
That's
can
true.
find.
Yeah, but I
You
only
just chalk that one up.
I only want to see the people in my life. I don't want to see strangers. I can see that on the
See,
internet.
this is what makes you the sickest.
Yeah, it really does. I knew
Because-
if we kept picking at it, he'd slip up
That's
and
the
say something.
whole
I knew
psychology behind OnlyFans.
I knew if I brought this up that he would slip up and say something truly disgustingly
Yeah.
sinister, and
Yeah.
he did. Disgustingly
No, but that's
sinister.
how human
He
psychology works.
lusts after the people that he
Yeah.
knows to see them nude.
Well, no, it's not that I lust after. It's just you're the most
I knew it.
curious from the people
Yeah.
you know.
I
That's
wanna
why
see-
OnlyFans is around, right? It's like they make
Most
money.
people don't know the people that they follow on OnlyFans. I think it's occasional they might know somebody, but most people I think are strangers, dude.
We have a
Are you
couple
sure?
listers that have. We have a lister that interacts with our YouTube group, and I just went to comment on because she commented, and then I commented, and then I clicked on her YouTube thing, and then it clicked through to her like social media, and then I saw that she had one, and it looks.
Tell me who it
It
is.
looks good. I'll show you.
With the OnlyFans?
Yeah, I didn't go there. I didn't buy it because I'm locked
I
out of my
almost
OnlyFans.
signed up for an OnlyFans for,
I think
for
Butler
a BDM
changed
side chick.
Butler changed the password on my OnlyFans, and I think I'm locked out of it.
That goes back to, and this is an old man thing.
EJ
that I
says
don't
he doesn't
understand.
want you to look at his wife, Tom.
Well, too late.
So
we're doing it.
This is an old man thing that I don't understand. Where like someone has an OnlyFans and they're monetizing content like that, but they don't want to talk about it and promote it because it's like let's keep it on the down low. But I'm like, well, don't you want the extra money?
No, some people do it because they just like the excitement of being able to do
That's
it,
true.
and they like to.
They
be
don't
able
want
to,
their friends or family knowing
No,
about it.
not
Yeah.
necessarily. They like being able to control the leak, right? They probably know that eventually it's going to get out to like a lot of people. But I can understand maybe wanting to control how much you give up until you're ready.
Well,
maybe you're
yeah.
not ready.
That's the old man entertainer in me, where it's just like, don't you want to promote yourself to everybody you can? You know,
Right,
like,
right.
but it's like, well, I understand that content, but it's like, well, if you're monetizing it, don't you want the most amount of money? But it's not always about that anyway.
But we got to
hard
get
for me
out of
to-
here.
Yeah,
Just
we do.
remember, folks, if you hear something in your bathroom later tonight,
Just say,
Yeah,
I know you're in here.
Yeah.
I know you're in here, Daniel.
Yeah, or just say like
One day you'll be there.
Say love the show, and I might comment back.
SWAT low. I wonder how much Mickey Thomas have made.
Did you look up his net worth?
No, I haven't.
It's disrespectful. Is he listening?
Well, what's disrespectful is Mr. Beast has made more. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like this guy has
Okay,
made.
I got. What do you think his estimated net worth is?
It's so hard because.
Oh my God! All the Jefferson Starship songs are like 61 million.
I'll say
12
they've
million,
gotten more
18 million.
Spotify plays than what he's worth.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like it's a form of. It's hard for me to even quantify like these legendary bands that made this music because it was all
But then
under.
Jefferson Airplane's got another 200 million, 200 million, 200 million.
Well, all those hundreds of millions, like all that music was owned by a record label at
Right.
one time. So it's like
and it's all split
it's all
up.
convoluted.
Could be a
It's like
360 deal. You don't know what the deal
if you
is.
had that many like hits now and you owned it, you would be in a different stratosphere as
Yeah.
opposed to the business was different
Yeah.
back then. You sold like they owned it.
Yeah, the sweet spot was when NSYNC was making money. That was the sweet spot because they were getting paid.
Well, they were also getting their money stolen from them.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true. But if they were
They had to
able
fight for
to,
it.
but if they were able to get it, they were making money in all different ways.
Yeah, but they were still under those horrible
360
360
contract.
deals. Yeah.
Perlman deals where like everybody else was making the money and they were getting pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
Anyway, 30 million?
Between 4 and 8 million.
Wow.
He deserves a little more.
Yeah.
I'm
I'll
at-
put him
Y'all
up to
go
10.
out and see him and show him some love.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him up to 10.
Look up
with my heart. I'm gonna put him up to 10 with my heart.
Look up how much Preston, the YouTuber, is worth.
Oh, no. Look up the guy who's coming to the West End Trading Company, Squeezy Jibs.
Oh, God.
Squeezy
Squeezy.
Jibs? Who's that? Who's Squeezy
Coming to West
Jibs?
End Trading Company.
Well, he's
He's
not
an
worth that much.
influencer.
Squeezy Jibs isn't worth that. My sons watch Preston
I
play
hate
video
Preston.
games.
So Maisie is the only one that I think she shares with the boys.
Yeah.
And then she watches Cookie Swirl C. I hate Cookie Swirl.
Dude, like if you look at them, a lot of social media influencers you've never even heard of, they have more money than that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. Think about that.
Embarrassing.
Like this.
Liver
Dude,
King's worth
you're-
more.
I don't know. They don't have his. I thought that was his net worth, but it's not. It's his followers. I was like, that's gonna piss me off.
What?
He's got 3.1 million
Oh,
followers.
you thought
but
Squeezy
at
Jibs
first,
was
I was like, he's worth 3 million.
Yeah. Well, that's not even that much.
Yeah, but it's almost as much as Mickey Thomas.
Followers wise.
No, I meant I thought at first that it was
it's
his
money,
net worth. Yeah.
man, that's
it's
funny.
but you like it is crazy to see like guys like this that have a career that
Multiple
like,
hits.
but also he's been performing for 50 years. Like
Yeah.
it's getting damn near 50 years.
Yeah,
right?
he is a living legend with multiple successful
from the
bands.
70s. From the 70s.
The most impressive thing to me is that the Elvin Bishop Group was popular. Jefferson Airplane, popular. Jefferson Starship, popular. Starship, popular.
Yeah.
Mickey Thomas, you can make an argument, still popular.
Guess
because-
how much Preston's worth?
Oh, it's going to make Tom so angry. 20?
4.
25 million.
Oh, I went low. I went 20 million.
I mean, that's absurd. Oh, you know
Well,
what I'm
doesn't
saying?
that devalue
I-
money then? If you are less talented but get more
Nothing
money
matters.
for being less talented, then it should make you feel like you should be like, well, money isn't everything.
It's
Because we
not.
all know that
Yeah.
Preston, the YouTuber, is not as talented as Mickey Thomas. We
Well,
know that.
Yes, and that shows you what happens to people's personal worth when it's a free market, right? Like that he can distribute his content and make as much money as he
Okay,
wants.
that's true, yeah.
Mickey Thomas had to distribute his
Right.
content through a record label
the
that was
way.
taking 90%.
He had to do the way,
And there
yeah.
was no other way. Like,
You're right.
If you want to distribute your content, you got to sign a deal and you got to give us 80% of that, and then there's no other way. And then Preston grew up in a world where you can distribute your content for free to whoever wants to buy it and make your own money 100%. And that's the difference. 25 million to some kid who plays video games and is not even that funny. Believe me, because I watch him all the
Oh, I
time.
watch him all the time. He's not even witty.
He's not even as talented as Mickey Thomas's Pinky. You know, like his Pinky can do more than
Yes.
Preston can, and Mickey Thomas has said smarter things and more poignant
That was a
things
good
on this interview.
What a nice man.
Than Preston's ever said. Believe me, I've listened to hundreds of hours of my boys watching them, and that's that's what happens then when you can make your own money 100%. Is you can make 25 million and Mickey Thomas can make 3 million over 50 years. Like 50 years.
I know.
He's played Epcot for 12 years.
But you know, here's what I would ask: Is Preston living many lifetimes? Is he happy every day? I bet he's not. Not like Mickey was.
He's pretty happy.
I don't know.
I watch him.
I don't know if
He
he is.
seems happy.
Most of these,
he's got a Christian too. He throws Jesus in there to indoctrinate my sons.
My new favorite YouTube channel is this YouTube channel that goes and they just investigate why YouTubers are going crazy and ruining their lives. Have you been watching this guy?
No.
It's great. All they do is investigate YouTubers that like had it all and ruined it all.
The
crazy ones that get super fat, that fake their own deaths, that break up with their wives, that get in trouble and beat their wives. Or husbands.
That's just because those people. It's like the radio DJs. They're all certain personality. They all were driven to be a social media influencer and do content on YouTube, and that pulls in a certain personality type, and a higher percentage of that personality type is crazy. I think, or going to do crazy things.
Agree with that.
In the entertainment industry, it's been the same way. Like how many celebrities, do wacky things or eccentric and stuff. It's because they were drawn towards the entertainment industry, probably for a reason, because they had a certain personality type, which Venn diagram, is going to have X amount of crazy people. Or it's just like the percentage of the total population, is crazy. Anyway.
Would you like to finish out this segment with a couple of emails?
Yes.
Okay. If you'd like to send us an email, you can do so by writing down this email address, or just try to remember it. show@tomandan.com. Super easy. Most of your emails, all of them are read. Most all of them are printed, but our printer, thanks Xerox. Can I rant about our printer for a second?
Yes.
I have never seen a printer that when one or all of the color options are faulty, that it will brick itself and not allow you to just
never heard of
print grayscale.
Yeah.
And I called Xerox, and you guys heard me, and they're like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sir. That's just the way it was designed. And I'm like, well, this is
Terrible
a poor
design.
because our computer printer is bricked.
Well, they're trying to not let you use the Alibaba toner that I told you to order.
You did tell me to order that. And then the lady from Xerox.
Because they want to sell you their expensive $300 toner, so they're like, they tell the engineers
They
to
almost
make
got
it.
me.
So they're like, make it so if they use the cheap one, it breaks.
They almost got
That'll
me,
teach
Sam.
'em.
They almost got me, Sam, because I was talking to this lady, and she's like, can you, I'm going to send you a link. This is how she said it. She's like, I'm going to send you a link. And I'm like, okay. So she sent me a link and a text, and she's like, just tap the link. And I'm like, I don't know what she's doing. And I tap it, and it says, do you want to activate your camera and your microphone? And I'm like, what? And then she's still on like speakerphone, and I hit no.
Oh, me and Sam were listening to you.
Oh, yeah.
And then I had to think quick on my feet, and I said, I am not going to subject my employees to that. I've got work to do here. I'm not going to video chat with you. But Tom's right. They were
I
trying
tried to
to
scream
video.
he's lying.
They were trying. Yeah, you should have.
I was like, he's lying. We used the cheapo.
Yeah, we bought it from Swift Ink, and it was like $600 cheaper. And so the lady was trying to see if I was using Swift Ink. She was trying to see if I
Yeah.
were using the Bobo ink, but she's going to video chat me because she kept asking for the one ink cartridge I was using. She kept asking, she's like, it should have a serial number. She's American. It should have a serial number on it. It should start with a 0. And I'm like, no, there's nothing on here. And I was just being honest. But then she's like, let me see. And I'm like, no. I know how that works. I know how that works. You're not going to become my eyeballs. You're not here. We're doing this on the phone.
If they saw the cheapo,
She'd go,
ink
we
in
can't
there-
replace it.
Oh, then they're like, void.
Yeah, they're like, nope.
Right.
No, as we sit right now, if I get the proof of purchase, she'll send me one free magenta. One free
How's that
magenta.
work?
ink.
But what happens when that runs
Oh,
out?
but then yellow's all screwed up, and cayenne or cyan's all screwed up, and black won't even print. The thing's a
Well, all
hunk
we
of-
need is black.
I know.
I know. We can't use
Yeah.
it.
We don't even need color.
Trash.
I know.
God.
Stupid Xerox. All right, first,
Hold on. Why
what?
is printing so expensive?
I don't
Like,
know.
it should be
Do
cheap.
you know our ink cartridges? You know how all 4 of our ink cartridges cost? You want to know?
What?
I had to get the baby ones.
It's the original media.
If I got the big ones,
Why
if
is
I
it
got the 4 big
it got
ones-
more expensive.
Do you know
It's
how much
analog.
it is? Do you know how much it is?
With the printer?
The 4 cartridges.
Oh, the cartridge.
I'll tell you
It's
what.
more
I'll
than Mickey
I'll
Thompson's
tell you
net
how much
worth.
the printer was. I'll tell you how much the printer cost. $5.99.
Okay, yeah.
When we bought the printer,
I was
new,
mad
it was
about that.
$5.99. Do you
Yeah.
know how much the ink costs to go in the printer?
300.
$8.99.
How is that?
$8.99.
How is the ink more expensive than the actual printer?
You tell me.
You should have got a different printer.
Yeah,
No,
just buy
I
another
asked-
printer.
You
I
should've
was
got the Alibaba printer.
I was told to buy this printer from a print person we know, and he gave me
God.
advice that I don't want to bag on him. He's nice.
Goddamn big print. So why isn't it cheaper?
I almost just said the F word.
And then you did almost say it. And I bought, because he said, we can't do that. We can't do that. So I said, okay, I'll try to find another option. So I did. I found Swift Ink. The Swift Ink people were great. I wrote them.
Oh, we should have
and
went Swift.
No, I did go Swift.
Oh.
I bought the Swift Ink, but the Swift Ink's what's now they're saying the cartridge
Not
is
compatible.
Not compatible. And I'm like, well, it was compatible for the first 3 months. You
Right.
were Swifting it
Hold
around.
on.
Then so Swift Ink,
Should be $30.
I talked to Swift, and Swift goes, sir, put all the... This is how... Some companies are hard. Xerox has been a pain in my ass. Swift, when I messaged Swift was like, are you Daniel? They have this new thing where, like, when you log in, it knows who you are. And I'm like, yes. And they're like, I have an order of your record here. What's the problem? I said, my Swift Ink is not working. They're like, put it in a box, send it back. We'll send you new ones. I'm like, I have to put a piece of paper in there, a receipt? They're like, no, we have all the serial numbers. We know what we're doing.
Imagine if you
Pretty
talk-
awesome. So,
like that.
but if their cartridges would work, and then he
Right.
assured me, he's like, "This has never happened before." I'm like, "Sure, Swift Ink,
Mm-hmm.
sure."
Imagine if you went back to Mickey Thomas when he first started Jefferson Starship,
Yeah.
right? And
Jefferson Airplane.
Yeah, airplane. And then you told him, you're like, technology, you're like, hey, technology
You're
is
gonna be able to
increasing.
stream music from the sky
Yeah,
from satellites.
You're like, yeah,
but
shit, like-
ink, oh,
Exactly. You're like, look, and I have Mickey.
computer in my pocket.
I have this phone. It can do anything. Like it knows all the information in the entire
magic.
world.
I will write questions to ask you one day on this.
I will ask questions, and it'll give me
Oh, did we
questions.
talk about
Generate questions.
Yeah, we did a little bit.
Your
Of that, yeah.
AI will give me questions to interview you, so I have to do no research whatsoever. And then you ask him, guess how much a printer costs? Because he was like, well, now they're kind of expensive, but imagine 40 years from now there'll be nothing. Like every house will come with a printer.
And it was weird that it was the magenta cartridge.
Why
that went
magenta?
out. How much magenta are we
No, but
printing?
here's what
Also,
happened.
ink
No, I'll tell
is nothing.
No, but this is what happened. So the story gets crazier. So I bought one officially licensed Xerox magenta. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And I bought a baby size one because I didn't want to piss off Tom, and it was $106 for the baby size. Don't yell at me, Dad. So I put the $106 Xerox, like real Xerox magenta in, turn the machine off, turn it back on, it resets itself, and then it says, cyan is uncompatible, you bitch. To me. And I'm like, well, do I have to buy another cyan? So then I bought all the other ones in the baby sizes for $106 a piece. So that's why I spent $300 on it, and I expedited the shipping. And then Xerox told me, they're like, you didn't expedite the shipping. It'll be here Monday. So I wait around on Monday, but then I get the stomach bug. I poop it and barf it everywhere. Then my ink doesn't come. And then I check on it, and they're like, it won't be here until Wednesday. So I'm at the mercy of Xerox. I can't do
F you,
anything.
Xerox.
Hold on.
I hate Xerox.
What is ink?
What is ink?
Baby, don't print me.
Like
Don't print me.
Like
No more.
Like how helium is more expensive, but like then you look in and you find out like helium actually there's a finite amount of helium on Earth. Like that's
Yeah.
why, and then so you can't.
I
make,
didn't know you used to mine helium. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just some stuff we made in a lab.
But you can't make helium. You have to mine it, and there's only so much, and we will eventually run out. Like
This is why we run out. We have full pictures.
of Seth's
That's not Seth. That's a
not
listener.
Seth, that's a listener.
That's a
but
listener.
It's pretty
in his,
funny.
in his favorite medium hat.
So
I mean, like
but
the
I'm
reason we got colors because we print.
making
The reason we got
$1 million
color,
for nothing.
we neneeded to print like some stuff when you go in
Hold
to
on.
like pitch a new deal. I like for you to have a little folder with your name
Sam,
printed in color.
Yeah.
Look up how to make computer ink. Like
Oh, I bet there's a how it's made on it.
No, we make
Which,
our
by
own?
the way, I'm going back and watching all the how it's made.
It's-
I'm a meme all now.
Oh, because
There's-
you're on that Tubi.
Yeah, it's on
I-
Tubi.
Man, I love
mean,
Tubi.
we can make synthetic black dye 1 trillion gallon. I mean, it's not that hard, right? Just making black dye as ink?
It's a combination of varnish, resin, solvents, pigments, and additives, including waxes and lubricants. Black ink is made using carbon black pigments and white pigments like titanium dioxide that can be used to lighten other ink
The
colors.
chat room
This
is
is some
saying
pigments.
you don't need color. Yeah, but you can't buy, like, you can buy just a plain, like, the price point for what we needed, guys, trust me, I researched this for weeks. And then the one that we needed is, I didn't know when I bought it. It doesn't say even in the manual that if you take out all the color cartridges, black will not function. I've never seen that before.
Me
That you
either.
can't bypass
I know, I was
it.
trying to bypass it. I was like, this is weird.
Trust me when I tell you guys, it's a Xerox C310. You can look it up. I called Xerox and was on the phone with them for how long? An hour, guys?
Oh, you were yelling at them again.
I was yelling at him good because that's what I'm specialty. Now that I'm 46, I'm the yeller. I'm old yeller, little old yeller.
Aw.
And I yelled at this. Well, no, I didn't. I just was a little passive aggressive on this lady. She was very nice, but when she started to give me the corporate gobbledygook, I hit her with the, you don't understand what I'm talking about.
Oh, I'm going to have to go behind the studio one day and shoot you.
I hope so. Like, oh man, a couple days ago I would have asked you to.
But I see these videos of, like, you ever seen the videos of the mines of, like, whatever they have to mine for iPhones? There's some sort of thing in there. Like,
There's a thing that
there's some sort of element that they mine.
there uranium in our. I didn't
No,
know
no.
that.
I don't know what you're talking about, buddy.
Yeah.
It's powered by depleted uranium.
There's some sort. It's not the lithium. It's something else that they use. And I see the videos, and there's like a bunch of impoverished people just in some giant open quarry, and it's real bad, right?
Look, I'm smarter than this. I take my
Anyhow.
time on computer purchases. I don't screw around on this. I'm sorry we didn't get to do an email. This guy's yelling at too much about Xerox.
But my point is,
Stupid Xerox.
when I see that, I'm like, oh, well, now I understand why it's expensive, because there's like humans like having to mine in the earth this thing, and
They're
like,
little humans, too. They're little people.
And then
They're
it's
goblins.
there's atrocities, and there's a bunch of guys with machine guns.
Oh, wow, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I understand. There's like, okay,
ink mine.
that makes sense, but it's just ink.
Yeah.
Like, it should be able to make unlimited amounts for
Yeah.
nothing, right?
I don't understand.
Neodymium, which are used to use magnets.
Magnets, how do those work?
Europium, which is a phosphor that creates bright red on iPhone screen. Yeah, there's a
Europium.
ton of stuff that they mine, apparently.
Europium
But
is-
I'm saying ink. They've been making
Ink!
they've been making it since the Egyptian
beginning
times,
of
right?
time.
It's-
But I'm saying,
it almost sounds like-
it's make it out of flowers or something, right?
It sounds like poorly late 80s written stand-up when I say that the
Why?
ink costs more than the printer.
But why-
it's not a joke.
Why is it so expensive?
The ink is $8.99 for 4 cartridges, black, yellow, cyan, magenta.
But
and the printer's $5.99 brand new.
But any ink cartridge like is all expensive, right? It's like people have been bitching about this
should
for
it be more than
decades.
the hardware?
No.
It should never be more than the hardware. It's 4 plastic cartridges that weigh less than 2 pounds.
Like, for sure, a big printer has all gotten together and said, we're not budging with these prices.
Yeah.
Because if
Especially Xerox. I mean, they're the big boy.
yeah, but
That's
if one,
why I went with
because
this. Everybody told me go with a really reputable, and I didn't get an all-in-one. This is not a scanner. This is not a. It only prints, and I was told go with a one that does one thing because you'll just have better luck with it. It's less parts to bring. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. It's all good, and it was a wonderful printer until I found out that the ink isn't compatible.
But it's all expensive for no reason. I'm saying they're price fixing the whole industry.
gouging.
Because
They
first,
are.
These bastards.
Because they know business people need it.
well, I'd almost bet my life that we have the possibility, someone out there can create a
Should we get in the
printer
ink business?
and do $5 printer cartridges.
Then we
Like,
can
it
print
has
our
to-
own $5 shirts.
Yeah, but the problem
You'd be
is
killed by big ink.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen the windshield wiper
Well,
guy.
that's what they did. Yeah, exactly. They were run you off the road. Next thing you know, your whole family's floating in a lake. Like this thing, they bricked it somehow. They made it so there's some sort of. I mean, that's why. First of all, why was the printer only $5.99 if it has the technology to find out that certain cartridges? It's so smart that I'm not even smart enough to know which cartridges work. Like it can look at that magenta cartridge and be like, "That's not a Xerox one. I'm not using it." How does it do that?
It can ask Mickey Thomas questions. God damn it. Anyway, bye-bye. let's talk about what Tommy told me. I think it was last night. So we're sitting there last night, and then I see this paper sitting on our kitchen counter.
From heaven to heaven.
And then, it says
Part 2.
I can't wait to read
Part
it, by the
two.
way.
You're never going to get to see it.
God, bring it tomorrow.
It says Max's name on it, and then it's some sort of chart, right? Where I can see a line, and then like I can see like these like points on the
God.
chart or whatever. I'm like, what is this, right? And then Chris was like, I didn't tell you. I took Max to an ear, nose, and throat specialist because of his ear. Now, rewind back over the weekend. We were at the Wizard's house for his daughter's birthday.
Yeah.
And he is now like the carny of Satellite Beach because he orders like from the local rental company gigantic water slides.
Bigger than yours?
Oh, yeah. Because he's got
Huge.
the big front yard.
Yeah.
And so
You need a lot of area for those.
and then I mean, it's a 4-blower water slide.
Wow,
2 on each side.
4-blower.
Yeah, gigantic.
I don't think I've ever seen a 4-blower out in public.
And
but-
then he just lets all the neighborhood kids and everybody for the birthday party. They're all running a wild,
Man,
crazy.
he's so fun.
And then Max and Tommy are going up and down. Max gets nailed by some kid coming down the water slide
Yeah.
because, of course, like it's just kids are running back and forth.
And the Fuller kids, when they go down the slide.
It was like a foot to ear, straight legged, straight down the slide,
ouchie.
right to the ear.
Yeah, that'll hurt.
So then
That's a
Max
stinger.
gets hit in the side of the ear, grabs his ear, is crying.
He said he couldn't hear and he had ringing in his head.
Yeah.
So
So
you've said that before. You're probably,
Man,
you're probably
concussion.
really proud of him.
and he's like I can't hear.
Oh
and
my God.
So Crystal,
You weren't afraid of that at all? You didn't run over there and you're like freak out at all? Or?
Well, you get hit in the ear sometimes, and then you've been hit in the ear as a kid.
Plenty
it's
of
like-
times.
Yeah, it rings, and then you get that muted, like there's some water in your ear. Like, well,
Yeah, I hate the feeling. I hate it.
Like,
Oh, God, I hate it.
Saving Private Ryan on the
The
explosion.
flashbang.
Walking
There's
through the
a-
Man,
hall.
your references are so.
Yeah. And there's
Yeah,
old
relevant.
Tom Sizemore. There's old Tom
R.I.P.
Sizemore wandering around without pants on, throwing frisbee in a hotel
Sizemore
room.
there. And then, so I was like, he's fine. And then the
He had blood coming out of his ear.
Oh my God!
No, okay, well,
Oh, he
you
busted his eardrum.
you flushed it out with the eardrops. So the wizard's wife's a nurse, and then I'm like, look at it, and then she's like, it's fine.
Look at it.
And then I was like, that's the nurse, just as good as the doctor. It's fine. And then Crystal takes him to the Minute Clinic or whatever it is.
Yeah, the ER, the
Urgent care.
urgent care. Yeah.
And then comes back, and then the urgent care doctor, of course, because they love money, suggests like, you should have a ENT look at this. Which I think it's
He's
just
not getting any money out of that recommendation.
yeah, but it's all a fraternity.
Yeah, I know, but these
It's all doctors helping doctors. They say, hey, you should go see this other doctor. They all do it as like
professional courtesy.
Yeah, professional
Yeah.
courtesy. I
Put a
know
little-
professional
put a little
courtesy.
money in your pocket.
yeah. Cops do it. Firefighters, professional courtesy.
Podcasters do it, but not on the same show. There's none.
Yeah. Like, you should advertise in some podcasts. As I tell people all the time.
Yeah.
And then anyway, so Crystal takes Max to the ear, nose, and throat, and then I see the sheet, right? So then I'm like, "What's the sheet?" And Crystal's like, "I took him to ear, nose, and throat just to make sure his eardrum was fine. It wasn't ruptured or whatever." It's
I don't see anything wrong here yet. By the way, I mean, like I've been quiet.
No, TC told me you don't need to take him.
No, but
You don't need to take him.
I know that Andrea wouldn't be able to sleep unless she took May.
The ears are very delicate.
Yeah, but-
you have to be careful.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Well, is that an ear problem or is that an anxiety thinking your son's hurt problem?
either way, if she goes to the doctor and it makes her feel better and gives her peace of mind as a mom, I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
I had
that peace of mind
have to be
costs-
clear. I had zero anxiety about this.
Okay.
No, I mean,
Yeah,
peace
well,
of
my-
mind. I meant.
It's not even peace of mind. It's parenting. Like that's my child, and I have to make sure that he's healthy.
So
It's
then,
my responsibility. And if he gets older and now he has
Right.
hearing problems,
Better
because
safe than
I
sorry,
didn't
yeah.
take him and get the steroid in
Yeah.
time. It's my fault that I've done something that
Then you're over
Was
there, like,
preventable,
hey, you want to
yeah.
go down the slide again? And he's like, no,
Simple.
I don't want to go down the slide again. And you're like, oh my God, what have I done?
I really did it this time.
the Incredible Hulk talks like that. That's what I'll say.
Everything fine, Dad. Everything fine. And you go, uh-oh. Should have taken him.
Speaking of everything's fine, then I'm like, well, what'd they say? And then they said everything's fine. So, okay, all right. So then
Perfectly fine.
Tommy tells me this. He's like, you care about money more than our health. And then so I was like, what? And I'm like,
Damn.
So then
He cuts, man.
I fell out the chair on that one.
Yeah, he got me. He got me on that
But
one.
also, I'm like, oh, he didn't come up with that himself.
I did not tell him that.
So then, people, I said you don't need to go to the ear, nose, and throat. So then I looked at my sons and I said, I'm like, Max, what did the doctor tell you? And then he said, I'm fine. And then I'm like, case closed.
Okay. Well, the
Who
only
was right?
Case is not closed.
the only way
here.
to verify.
He was fine the whole time.
What if he
Yeah,
wasn't?
But you didn't know that.
Right, you
what if
didn't
he
know
wasn't?
that.
You didn't know that.
I said that.
No, you gambled on it. You
Right,
said it and you gambled on it.
Yeah, but it was true.
Happened to be right
he
this
has
time.
convinced himself that in gambling, if he gets it right, that
He
he
knew
knew
it.
it the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yes.
Which makes you an insane person.
It makes you an insane person.
yeah.
So what
I'm
happened?
just
No,
saying, get mad at
TC,
me when I'm wrong.
What do you say
We're always
when
mad
you
at you
were
when you're
wrong?
wrong. It doesn't matter.
Well, then I put my head down.
It doesn't bother you at all. We're wrong all the time, and we tell you you're wrong, and you're like, yes, I was.
Yeah.
So, which is it?
What is it that you say when you were wrong? Do you know the phrase that I'm going to say? What
Okay, what is
is it? What is it? Say
I
it.
shouldn't have
Okay,
just
say
said
it.
anything. I shouldn't have even talked.
No,
That's
no.
what he says
He
around
has
here.
a specific phrase he
Hold
uses
on, I'm trying
when
to think
he
of
was
it.
wrong.
Okay, I know what you're gonna say.
Well, say it.
You tell me all the time.
Okay. You say, well, I didn't think that was going to happen. That's what you always say.
That was the truth. I'm telling you the truth. I thought that another thing was
Oh,
gonna
my
happen.
God.
I called
but
it out,
wait-
and I.
you
You're
don't
maddening.
think that you don't think
They
that
caught
you
the
weight
ball
the things
before the
that,
homer.
you don't think you weight the things that you say heavier than anything else that's said? I think you do.
What do you mean?
Like when you say, like your weight, just in the example you're giving with Crystal, you're weighting what you're saying. Like he doesn't need to go. You're like, you had nothing to verify that other than.
Well, I was like, what's the chances
But as
that he ruptured his eardrum? Kids get hit in the ear all the time. It's like, I feel like.
I could have been a lean on Tom on this one.
No, thank you.
No, that's fair. No, that's totally fair. I'm just saying,
That
like,
was a mistake.
Look, I also side with. I also side with you. But I also understand in my household that's not going to work. So I'm trying to answer this as if I were you.
Well,
And I
nothing
just
works in my
I just tell Andrew just go because I know it's gonna. You have to do it.
Right.
Because if you didn't do it. Like, I know you so well that if, let's say that it were the opposite, which there is a possibility that could have happened, and if you had to leave here because Max couldn't hear out of his ear, you'd be.
Now I could be wrong, but
I'll stab my ears.
didn't you also think nothing was wrong with Max when he actually did like fracture his collarbone?
That was
There you go.
He didn't
a
expect-
mistake in
He
my
didn't
life
know that would
I'm
happen.
still paying for.
He didn't think that would happen.
Yeah. Well, I've said that mistake that one time I was wrong.
Right. So again, you're just gambling with their health. So what if this time you were wrong too?
Yeah, you're not wrong. It's just why not just do the regular process?
Just to make
Who
sure.
Cares? Who cares? What does it matter?
Well,
Because he's thinking about money, like Tommy said.
it's not just
Tommy was right.
You know what else Tommy said? He said,
Oh no, is this something he
Is
doesn't
this
know?
the video?
yeah, it was yesterday when we were in the waiting room. He goes, remember that time I needed a cast for my leg and Dad told the doctor I didn't need it?
Oh my god.
And I said, it wasn't a cast.
didn't need it.
It was just a boot. And Dad didn't think you needed it. And he goes, I did need it.
Oh.
No, it didn't. No, that's how you get them.
Now he walks funny.
They don't know about the medical
This is
industry
why his
and
little
why it
stick
works.
legs can't grow.
No, nothing was wrong with his leg at all. Pulling
He's
it.
like, I couldn't-
The doctor, I was like, no, they just want to sell you whatever. This is our business.
Dad was right. I did learn to love my limp.
Little Forrest Gump.
It makes me
No,
unique. It makes me
everything's
different
fine.
than the other boys.
Here's the look at what everything. If your eardrum was broken, right? There's nothing you can do about it. The same thing with
Rupture.
a collarbone. Yes, I didn't think he had a broken collarbone. It turned out he did. But what they do?
But you're nickel and diamond, man. It's not that much money.
Yeah,
what is this? At the most, it's going to be $500.
Yeah, but if it's most likely 90% fine.
I don't do most likely when it comes to kids.
Yeah, but
It's like,
$500.
whatever.
Yeah, but what are they going to do for the broken eardrum?
I don't
If
care.
it is.
Well, okay. I'll give you an example. If he had some sort of specific inflammation or swelling that could damage his hearing permanently and he needed a steroid to reduce that inflammation quickly, you know what I'm saying?
That's a pretty
Is that
well thought out answer right
Yeah,
there.
that's what she does to me.
Yeah, that's a pretty goddamn well thought out answer right
She
there.
hits
saying,
me
like,
with, I
what's
can't argue logic against it.
What's the problem with going and just having his having it looked
I
at.
agree with you, and I also see your point. I'm trying to see your point,
I know.
and you're right about that. And I got kicked in the ear, and look at my nose; it's all screwed up, and I never got it fixed or anything like that. But why not just? Well, who
You
cares?
should've
Yeah,
got
but if you
that
take your
fixed.
kids to the doctor,
Now
if
you're
you take them to the
going-
doctor for every little thing, doesn't it start to train them that they need to do that for every little thing?
I don't know. I don't take them for every little thing,
Well,
but
blood out of your
take
ear,
'em-
I would go to the
Yeah.
Right,
emergency
understandably.
room. I mean-
But if the doctor looks at it, looks inside there and goes, "Hey, I think you're all right," go to an ENT. He's more or less throwing liability off himself.
That's
Right.
true.
That's
but
what they
then,
doing.
That's true, and I agree. But then
That's what they're doing. What is that voice? Is that a new character you're trying out?
Sorry.
I just want to make sure my children are healthy.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
understand.
I don't blame
That's
you.
the whole children's health industry.
God, I was-
is nickel and diming you crazy.
I was the opposite with May when she got the stomach bug. I was like, well, look at her. Like she was on the
Well,
couch.
stomach bug. I wouldn't have taken my kids to.
Well,
to the
she was
doctor
on
for
the
that.
couch and she was like, oh, oh, and I was like, looked at Andrew. I'm like, what the hell's going on over here? I'm like, she's really milking this. And I was like,
Go suffer in silence.
I thought she was screwing around. I think, oh, she'd be like, the cramps, and I'd be like, God damn,
Our buddy-
shut her up. You know, I was almost like, go to your room. You know, if you're gonna do that.
Yeah,
And then I
don't
got
bother
it.
me with all
and
this.
then I
screaming.
got it, and then I was like, oh,
Did
like
she
the
tell you to
same
shut
thing.
up?
Father, son.
I did the same thing. No, everybody at our house is screaming. It was
So
terrible.
what was the chart?
Oh, it was a hearing test that I'm sure.
Oh, they're performing their own hearing test now?
No,
It was
that was
actually from the doctor.
Oh, okay.
that
I
was
thought
Tommy,
Tommy
I
did
did too.
No,
The
no.
way you
It's
like,
explained
I
it,
care
thought-
more about Max than my daddy does.
I honestly thought Tommy was like, well, if Daddy's not going to test your hearing, I have to do something with my best buddy.
No, it was from the doctor, and his
Daddy's too drunk.
his right ear is markedly lower than his left ear. Like the one he got hit in.
damage? From
Yeah,
damage?
I mean, well, it's probably just
Oh, yeah,
it's just
well-
inflammation, and that it'll
Yeah.
probably go
It'll
down.
go back.
That's
But
what I would put in the
he's-
chart if I was this business and you took me in. I'm gonna put in a little thing different.
Is that what you do for our clients?
If I put the same, then they'll know that I didn't even spend this money.
Oh,
but I put it
tease.
different. I'm just saying, I would. If that happens,
Does this happen for every decision?
This kind of back and forth.
Well, sort of, yeah. Like,
No, I just do what I want, and then he finds out later.
and then.
Yeah, that's why I brought it gripes of the week.
Okay,
I
all right,
can't
all right,
say
I get it
this
now.
when I'm at home.
I get it now.
When I'm
But
at home, I just gotta take it.
The sad thing is, I have to hide doctor's appointments from him.
Oh,
Like I don't have to hide I don't have to hide my
Dude,
Amazon
every
bill.
time this happens, I feel so much better about my life. I'm like, I'm pretty boring and normal. I'm like a pretty normal, boring anxiety guy, just a regular little anxiety guy.
I don't have to hide the Target bill or the Amazon bill, but doctor's visit. Don't tell him about that.
Is it you have something against doctors?
Yeah.
He
No,
hates
I
it.
don't.
The insurance company, all of that. Oh, he's mad at it.
No one.
You're like Jigsaw. You're as mad about insurance as Jigsaw.
Oh, he's
Mem-
Jigsaw.
Yeah,
No
remember the
one wants
last
to look
couple?
Because he just thinks it's a scam. He
Yeah.
thinks it's all a scam.
It's not all a scam. It's just I'm. If you are motivated by capitalism, right? Which all these
Which
places
you are.
Which
right?
you are too.
I know that's where I'm getting it from. And then their business is this business, right? You take Tommy to the doctor for a nothing sprained ankle, and then the doctor's like, "All right, well, you came here to see me. I'm gonna sell you something. Obviously, you came in. If someone comes in looking for advertising, I'm gonna give them the package, right? I'm not gonna be like, nah, I don't know, get out of here.
Right,
Like,
right.
You're gonna, and so they come in and you're like, well, I took the X-ray, nothing major. Could be. It's always inflammation. Everything's inflamed.
Isn't there a
Why is everything so
There's
inflamed?
a middle ground, right? There's like there's somewhere in the middle. You guys can
There
get
is-
in the middle.
Well, if there's an actual injury, like, hey, here is
Well, like
the
blood,
crack.
like blood out of the ear.
Well, the blood, things bleed all the time. I said
Your
noses
ears
bleed.
typically don't bleed.
I've
I've only seen that. The only time I see ears bleed is in movies when people are on the ground dying,
right. Like
and the blood trickles out of their ear.
the orange liquid
Yeah.
or the cerebrospinal fluid is
Thank you.
leaking
Yeah,
out. You're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
something is not right if something's coming out of your ear.
Okay, hold on. When you say bleed, it wasn't a trickle of blood like it was.
Was Max freaked
Die
out
Hard.
about it?
Yeah.
Nobody
Well,
asked that question, right?
Completely panicked.
You got to ask that question.
Okay,
because
well-
He's
if
like,
it-
it's ringing.
Yeah,
I
if
keep
it
hearing
makes
this
him better, hey, do you want to go to the doctor? Yes, I want to go to the doctor. Well, sorry.
Well, he is naturally wired that way. He's
Okay.
concerned about his health.
so
and all this
going there
stuff.
helped him out.
What helped him out his wiring, but there was nothing damaged with his ear. That's all I'm
This
saying.
time,
Yeah. Well, most of the time.
He had a perforation of his eardrum.
No.
And he's
that's
on
what they-
antibiotics. And
They
his
s-
hearing is reduced
I think
on
you
the
probably,
right ear.
you probably
They
should
said-
have
How
just
can
told him
you-
no doctor for you. And
How
just
can
let
you
him sit
minimize
there.
this?
Well,
I don't understand.
Well, they said perforation. They said, well, I can't really see anything.
Well, there was blood in there
Yeah. There's some blood.
and dilated vessels.
There's
and
blood
inflammation.
everywhere.
Come on.
I mean, who doesn't
Jesus,
poop
man.
with a little bit of blood?
What?
I'm saying it happens.
You know
I'm
what?
like a perforation.
Lately-
this is every other.
Lately, he's not wrong with me. My number ones are a little pink.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah, I know.
That is
Sometimes
not
some blood
know.
happens.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
when it's fine.
Like a strawberry lemonade. Strawberry lemonade.
Jesus,
All right.
man.
We have time for one more gripe, sir. Do you have another one loaded? Do you have a second gripe?
Did you write a list of grapes with a pencil?
He's only on number 2, and he's
boy.
got 9 gripes.
Okay, I got one. So, in the mornings on the weekend,
Smoothies? Do you do smoothies?
well, yeah, I do smoothies, but sometimes after the smoothie, I'll go.
Because you're Liver King, you're Orlando's Liver King, you're beefing up.
I'll go to Lowe's to
God.
just go look around the.
Do you drink a muscle milk while you're wandering around?
No,
the-
it's in my smoothie.
Okay.
But I'll go and look at the clearance plant section, see what they got, and then pick up some soils and whatever.
Soils, yeah.
You know, just wandering around. Right?
Doesn't mind spending money at Lowe's.
Yeah.
Oh, look
But
at
don't go to that ear doctor.
That's a TV screen on a refrigerator.
Now-
Holy cow.
I tiptoed out of the house. The family's dead asleep. Right, yeah. I mean,
Let me see here.
no one's waking up. Nothing.
110 milligram sativa.
It is the best time to go to Lowe's.
Yes, yeah. The family's asleep. Like Crystal's
and
asleep.
all the other men that don't believe in doctors are there.
I see him. We look at
You're
each
walking
other.
around. You don't go to the doctor either, do you? F the doctor. Yeah, put it there. F the doctor.
Yeah.
No vaccine for me.
Yeah, we don't talk to each other, but we see each other in the
Yeah.
eyes, and we know.
Yeah, all of
Do
you,
the nod.
all of you with
Yeah.
limbs and covered in cancers and tumors.
And then, so then
Half of them deaf from ear injury.
I'm just enjoying my time looking at some clearance plants,
Did your
Clearance.
Phone, did your phone blow up?
and then I get a text.
What's your text sound, or is it just vibrate?
It's just a vibrate. Then it's just like, where are you?
Oh my God.
And then-
Where are you?
And by the way, I already knew.
yeah, I know.
She's tracking you.
That's what I'm gonna yell about.
You gotta turn that off.
It's not about the text.
Yeah.
It's about the fact that you know where
You
I'm
got to
at.
turn that off.
And you know that you're ruining my time. So I think now it's not about the question, because if you're actually concerned about
Do
where
you
I was-
answer, or do you write, you
Oh,
know
no.
where I'm at?
No, I get mad. I drop my plants. I take off.
You throw them down and get in the car, just
Well, I
drive?
don't even need them, because then I'm like, I don't even need this. She's
Right? And you were
I-
about to spend $95.
I was stupid for even being here. I'm an idiot.
I'm like, we're on a spending freeze.
You don't even get a hot
credit
dog?
card.
You don't even get a hot dog?
No. Because you have to go park by the plant section. The hot dog's on the front.
Yeah, other side.
Yeah.
Other side.
You know, so
I know your Lowe's really well. I go to that one a lot. I like that
I
Lowe's.
park in the back near the mulch.
Oh, that's a good spot.
Anyway, and then I have
I
to
vape
go
over there
drive
before I
home,
walk up.
drive home mad, and then when I get home,
Are they waiting at the door? The whole-
No. Still asleep.
Yes.
All still asleep. No one wants breakfast. No one wants anything. They sit silently.
So you sit there for how long? Hours until they wake up?
No, well, I mean,
Lies.
they're sitting there they're sleeping for another 45 minutes, and then they can wake up, then I cook them breakfast, and all I can think about is the plants that I left at
That
Lowe's.
you didn't
The chat checking in complains about Dr. Bills, buys dirt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Soils. Different types
Soils.
of
Boy, that I
soil.
use for my plants. They thrive on
Max
the
uses
soils.
his ears.
Yeah.
No,
He loves to
what?
dance.
I said, what do they do? They're like, just give it time. And I'm like, that's what I said.
Well, what if they said something different?
Well, what if anything?
How
Yeah.
was I going to know?
Anyway,
Have we ever
sorry.
had anything go wrong here?
Okay, well, that's the
Well, he didn't
everybody's
think about
argument
that.
is like, look at your track record, and then that's hard to argue. you know,
Yeah,
that's
it
just
kind of is. We are the Orlando Guardians of planning events.
bad coaching, bad players.
Good times, though.
Yeah.
We'll be there April 8th.
All bad. All bad.
No, they're fine. It's a beginning. It's a new league. The rules are awesome.
They're a league of their own. They're-
Tiger blood. So Bart and Crystal, the Bart Merrick team. What's the easiest way to contact you guys? Cell phones on the front page, right?
Bart
if you can hear it, because your ears, man.
Yeah, barttherealtor.com. What's the other one?
I think it's just Bart the
Did
Realtor.
we ever buy Crystal the Realtor.com?
I think we did it
We
once.
did,
And then
but
combine it with Bart. And did we buy Bart and Crystal?
We bought.
Realtors.com.
I don't think we have that one, but we did buy CrystalTheRealtor.com.
I don't know if we still have it.
There was something that happened a while back.
We need to get
I
a
don't know. I don't think we
zanier.
do.
We need a zanier.
But-
we need to kick it back to like when Bart first started working with us and get some zany web address like sell house big balls. Something.
my
Yeah, we
goodness.
need like some crazy URL.
Yeah. Do people still advertise on bus stops? Is that still a thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rico English.
Somebody does.
Is that his name? Rico English.
How much is that cost?
CrystalRealtor.com does direct to Bart Merrick.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool, great.
We bought that, or you bought that?
I guess we did.
Yeah, I don't know. Tony
Somebody bought it.
Bought it sometime.
Put the Peg Bundy pictures on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen her, Peg Bundy?
She's hot.
Yeah, it's she hasn't changed that
She
much.
was really hot in
The 80s.
Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy. Yeah, Sons of Anarchy. She was really, really hot as like the mom, as like a biker mom.
Yeah.
But you know what didn't make that you know what made that whole show not work for me is none of the bikers were racist really.
I never watched
yeah,
it.
you're
They
like,
needed
that's
to be
ain't real.
way more racist. Like way more.
Yeah.
Like way more.
They couldn't put on TV what they really
Right.
would say.
So they watered it down just
Yeah,
enough.
you're
you
like,
know?
this isn't
They're
real.
like they're walking around a normal house. There's not one crazy SS flag in there. You know, not even one.
All right, let's get out of here. Guys, thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
And we will see you on Monday.